Alrighty guys, welcome back to the channel. We're back on the internet together again today. For all of you at home, you must be very, very relieved. The social media ban is in for the under 16s. You can sleep easy at night. The kids are safe. Let's do it.
Well, after months of fierce debate, Australia's under-16 social media ban is now officially law. So, whether you agree or disagree with the steps taken to protect our kids, attention now turns to exactly what is changing. So, for more, I'm joined by today tech expert and dad.
Yeah, it's all about the kids. It's got nothing to do with ushering in societal acceptance of logging into a digital ID or anything like that. No. It's all about the kids. That's how you get all the bleeding hearts to go along with it. Not that we voted for it, not that we had an opportunity to go to a referendum over it. No, it was just done anyway. Just push it through. Good old Labor. And before people get in and say, gee man, you are cooking on the glass Barbie, you're on the shard, you need to go out camping with Desi Freeman out in the bush and live out with him there. Do you really think it's about the kids? Come on. Let's be a bit bigger picture than that. Because I've been getting emails from people saying, oh no, it's about the kids. Because I made a video about a week ago. It's about the kids. What are you talking about? The internet's a horrible place and blah, blah, blah. It has to happen. Got news for you, matey. Sucked in.
Dad of three, Trevor Longy, you've got a 14, 15-year-old. I've got a 15-year-old.
Yeah.
We're all caught up in this. How's life changing in your household?
I think the big change today will be how they communicate with their friends, because you've got to realise, as much as it is, I don't love the platform Snapchat, it is how kids communicate.
Yeah.
I remember once asking my daughter to call one of her friends so that we could find out where they were, and she said, I don't have a number. Because they only communicate on Snap. So kids are going to have to find new ways of communicating and also kind of get understanding what's going on in the world, because that is how they get their information.
Get on WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, all good. Discord. They're going to get onto Signal or something like that. Done. Telegram. Is Snapchat really used for communication? I thought Snapchat was used for people who are having affairs and sending naughty photos and all that sort of stuff. Didn't know kids used it. Surely it isn't what's on vogue with the children now, considering that it's about 10 or 15 years old. I thought it was for Gen Zs, Gen Ys maybe. Good old millennials out there trying to be cool, trying to send naughty photos that get deleted automatically that can't be saved. Correct me if I'm wrong. It doesn't matter what you do. Kids are going to find a way around it. Kids are very smart. Kids have been circumventing rules and laws and all that forever. Think about you younger guys at home who might be of my vintage, millennial. Late at night, you might have had Foxtel or one of those other services, and they had an adult channel. But if you didn't pay for the adult channel, it was all, the white and black dots, the static. But you sit there and listen to it. So, kids are going to do shit. They're going to work it out. They're going to work out how to get around things. They're going to work out how to get their hands on stuff. I don't know if that was the best example, but it was a funny one. You guys know what I'm talking about. VPNs, they'll just get a VPN on their computer. Boom, they're on it. What's a VPN cost you? $5. $5 a month for one of the big providers. If you've got a Norton antivirus or something like that, it comes with the package. There'll be no huge impact. I don't know. Put in the comments. Do you guys think it's about the kids? Are you happy as parents that your children have had decisions made on your behalf for them? Do you think it's part of a bigger conspiracy theory? Do you think it's part of getting the cattle, getting the herd in? Getting us all comfortable with state surveillance? And everyone's like, oh, you're a cooker. Once again, you're Desi Freeman's best mate. Have a think about it. Would you have thought this ever would have been a thing previously? No, it sounds like something out of a movie, Enemy of the State. But now everyone's just open arms, no problem. Let's be censored by the government. Let's have the government making all these decisions for us. Let's have to prove, everybody has to prove that they're over 16. Just for the kids, apparently.
Kids aren't reading newspapers, so how kids obtain information from the outside world, outside of school, is going to change. And, they're going to flock to different platforms that haven't been talked about yet.
They can still use YouTube, though.
They can still watch videos. They can still watch TikToks. I can still send those videos to my kids. Right. Kids can share them on WhatsApp. They just can't have an account and get that algorithm, as Julian Grant said earlier.
See, that's what I mean. They're not banning kids from anything. They're just banning people from accessing them without having some sort of ID or some sort of check where you're registered. Because at the moment, you can just make up an email address, a random email address, and off you go. And sure, people will be able to find out who you are if they really want to investigate you, the police or something like that. They'll trace your IP address and they'll be at your door, no problems. But if you're going to have to register an account with your name, it's going to put a lot of people off coming online, subscribing to particular content they might not want to know that people that they're watching or that they follow. They don't want to see or have trace evidence of their actual government name of comments that they're making. So a lot of people will just watch it in that mode. But have a think about that. They're not banning anything. It's just stopping them from using the full functionality of it.
They can't be fed into that algorithm.
So what's happened to those kids?
So it's really about the kids. It's really about. I'm not ranting. You're up for a full rant today. Like, I'm fully charged about this. If it's really about the kids, then like every single platform should be just eradicated from an it should be just banned. Not use it with less privileges. The whole thing should be banned, unusable. You cannot use it. It's not about that.
Kids' accounts that have been blocked. I think my son's I looked at his Instagram yesterday because he's 15 and a half.
Yeah.
I said, we put you in a date. When you come back, all your information is still here.
I've looked at all three platforms, all the big three now, Snapchat, Instagram and TikTok, and they all say, and you'll be welcome back on this date.
Yeah.
Because you put in a birth date at some point, they basically say your account will be held or frozen and will welcome you back on this date. That's
Didn't
the
TikTok delete some of your daughter's videos?
So this is the big thing, though. I verified my daughter's account using my face. Because I wanted to test if that would work, and it did. And then it said, because you created content before you verified your age, we have to delete that content.
Wow.
So I think there's going to be a lot of under 16s going to be pretty upset to lose a lot of content today. So all the platforms are making it possible to download your content, so Instagram memories and things like that. And I think a lot of kids are going to want to do that because, again, remember, this is their camera roll. This is how they shared their months.
These are their memories.
Their memories, yeah.
What about, we just saw a child before in the news there, in the 7 o'clock news with Andrew Carruthers, telling us how to get around Snapchat, that her mates already worked around it. Yep. We're like, well, that's fair game. The kids are going to try and do this.
Look, you've got to remember, the rules here are the platforms get the fines. There's no fines or lawsuits or anything that can come to parents or kids. So look, I'll be honest with you, it's completely possible that an older sibling, an older friend at school, or a parent will do the face scan for kids. It will work. And it will let them through. So my daughter's TikTok account is now active because I scanned my face. But I will almost guarantee you that over the coming months, TikTok will again monitor the usage of that platform and again likely flag it as a under 16-year-old at some point in the future. So just because...
I can't see that happening. I can't see him pouring all those resources in. They've had to bend the knee to the government. They've had to go and do this song and dance about it being about kids. They're not going to put all that in there to track in real time and AI and machine learning about what people are doing. No. They've put the stuff there for the government, that all superficial, that people will just work around in about 10 seconds. Love it.
As you get through today, kids, doesn't mean it's not going to happen again in the future because the onus is on the platforms to find the under 16-year-olds.
What if, like me, though, you got a baby face?
Yeah.
You're mistaken for being under 16, I'm locked out of my account.
Yeah, it can absolutely happen because, as we've discussed, the government's own age assurance trial shows that it's not possible to determine the exact age of someone by a face scan. So there are going to be 17 and 18-year-olds today, Dave, that have been kicked off because they look younger. And they're going to struggle to get their accounts back because the face scan is going to say, sorry, we don't think you're of age. So those people are going to have to go to the trouble of either getting a parent to help them, so TikTok has a parental account validation, or use an ID, a government-issued ID.
You know, do you think if it really was about kids and all that, they'll be allowing this sort of talk, basically educating kids who might not have thought about these things on what to do and how to get around the ban? It's an absolute joke. It's like telling people how to get away with breaking the law and circumventing certain laws and policies. It's not about that.
ID, which some people don't want to do, but if you want your account back, that's probably going to be the only way.
It's a hard time for parents out there navigating this too. There's a lot of emotions around this as well. What steps should they be taking?
I think the number one thing we need parents doing is talking. You just got to talk to your kids. And if there's one thing that's come out of this, love it or hate it, is that we want parents having conversations with your kids. So have conversations with your kids about it.
Tell them the why.
Yeah, absolutely. Show them the why. Show them things that can go wrong. I don't want to have to scare them, but you need to show them the things that can go wrong. Tell them about group chats. Tell them to create a group chat on WhatsApp with their friends, and monitor their devices. It's really important that you know what your kids are doing, check their devices every night and see what new apps are being downloaded and used. And you know what?
Kids are smart. They know how to hide stuff. What are you talking about? They have all the filthiest websites on there. Talk about a teenage boys have access to the internet full of adult material. Some girls probably too. You think you can be able to check and find it? They'll be able to hide stuff. Don't you worry. They're a lot more about hiding things and going incognito on their phone than adults would.
If you haven't already established some, now's a great time to establish rules in your family about what apps we use, what times we use it, and when we put our phones away. So that, if anything, this is the great reset for kids on their phones.
All right, Trevor, some good advice there.
Cheers,
Thanks, mate.
And we begin with the news dominating households across the country this morning. The ban has begun. Aussie households.
So what do you guys think before we launch into the next rant? Like, what do you guys think about everything that's going on here? Do you think I'm on the shard? Do you think I'm tweaking? Something stinks here. Something stinks. You know what concerns me is that the general public, for the most part, are accepting it. Go and read on Reddit or something like that about this. You can look up social media ban Reddit and you see the threads there, everyone's saying, oh, it's great. Oh, it's great. Yeah, really good. The government can just put rules in, control what everyone's doing. What do you guys, do you want the government making parenting choices for you if it is about the kids, which I'm highly doubting it is? Are you not capable as a parent to make your own decisions, or does big daddy government, this Karen, she makes a decision, she parents all your kids for you? All right, I'm going to leave it there. I don't want to launch back into this, right? We just talked about it, just ranted about it. We've got a second topic. We're going to talk a bit about Bonnie Blue. She's getting a lot of publicity. I think it's probably an interesting story to take a look at. But before I do, guys, consider subscribing, liking, commenting, sharing. If you want to support my channel while I'm demonetized, check out the Patreon link in the video description or the locals link. That's how it helps me out. And once again, the best way to help me is to share my content, get it out there, watch the videos through if you don't want to do any of those things. There's also a PayPal link in the video description too. If you do want to support the channel, for those of you, I get emails, people ask me how to do it. It's right there, that's why I've set it up. But no stress if you don't want to do that. Let's jump into the next story. So I think a lot of this stuff that happens for publicity reasons. That's why it's out there. So they want to try and make an example out of her, but really it just more promotes her out there. Bonnie Blue is a masterclass on how to rile up people, how to rile up the general public, and by doing so, becoming very famous and wealthy from doing it. Even if she's loathed, it's notoriety, it's not good attention. It does result in eyeballs on her content. Because you have to think about it, who's buying her content? Who's buying her OnlyCans page? Who's on there watching that and buying those videos? All the people, you got to probably get a lot of people saying, "Oh, she's disgusting. She banged bloody 1,000 guys in a day, complete filth." And you're probably one of the guys lining up. You're the last one in the line, or you're buying her content and watching it. Well, that's disgusting. Come on, mate.
First, Bonnie Blue, the porn star famous for betting 1,000 men in one day, faces 15 years jail after being arrested in Bali. She arrived on the Indonesian island at the start of schoolies and made no attempt to hide her intentions.
Those that are going to schoolies and to those that are barely legal, cannot wait to meet you. And I'm in Bali, so you know exactly what that means.
She has...
Should have done her research, I can tell you that much. Should have done her research because those countries don't F around with that sort of stuff. If they want to make an example out of someone, they can. It's a Wild West. Now, I don't think she deserves 15 years in jail for her stunts that she's pulling here, but she's pushing the envelope. She's pushing the envelope in society, that's for sure. And she's being very brash, very bold about it. I think someone's going to have to make an example out of her soon, I think. Not saying I support that. I believe in free speech, free will, do whatever you want. But I think that someone is going to make an example out of her. And it could be the Bali government, Indonesian government.
Since been arrested along with 17 men while allegedly filming content. Now, as you can see, the men, 15 of whom were Australian, weren't too keen to show their faces. I can't imagine why. It's being reported that Bonnie Blue may be prosecuted for allegedly breaching Indonesia's morality laws. And if found guilty, she faces a fine of more than $500,000 and a prison sentence long enough to make her rethink her career choices. Then again, maybe not.
So if I had my way, I would criminalise most of what you do, and you wouldn't have all this money, right? So obviously on a personal level,
gangbangs in prison.
Bonnie...
Of course you're going to get some women here carrying on about it. Because I don't want to see some other woman making the bag out of action. Why does it need to be banned? I mean, this stuff's been around forever. Why signal her out? She just does a few more extreme things. She's out there just winding people up. As I said, I'm not a supporter of her in any way, but I do think she's good at riling people up and getting attention. And people say, well, G-Man, you're giving her attention here. Yeah, fine. Giving her attention, I guess. I'm talking about this scandal, this story, which is not surprising to me in the least. What you see is a lot of women are getting upset about her doing this stuff. Maybe you got to ask her why.
Bonnie Blue was banned from Australia last year after inviting barely of age school leavers to have sex with her so she could post the footage online for money. Indonesia, none too impressed, Freya, and why would they be?
Well, I think it's so funny how Westerners go to Bali and they forget that Indonesia is 87% Muslim. And in 2022, they enacted morality laws based around Islamic values that ban...
She's spot on with that. Like you're literally going to a Muslim country. What are you doing? You can't be doing that over there. It's just not smart.
And even things like sleeping with people outside of marriage, cohabitation before marriage, let alone what Bonnie Blue is doing, which is full-scale pornography production, and she's advertising it. So I can see why the Indonesian government was not too happy about that. I think she was completely naive and foolish to think she would be able to do that. But in many ways, Bonnie Blue...
She might get her wish, though. She said she's going to have gangbangs in jail. She can have gangbang with the Bali 9 over there in jail.
Blue is the end result of the sexual revolution. Sex has become just an act like any other. It has been turned into a commodity that you can buy and sell, and there is no moral value attached to it anymore. So are we really surprised? No.
It's pretty sad state of affairs we are in the world. I mean, she laid it out. There's no value on sex. There's no morality around it. You know, who's selling it? Women are selling it. I know this is going to sound a misogynist comment. Wanting guys to take them out on expensive dates and buy them shit and run around after them, and that's the carrot, right? You might get a bit of sex. Or you got these women, many of them, younger women, in which stories like this might even encourage. That's on the news. You see it on news.com.au every second day, a story about some OnlyCans girl who's making 40 grand a month, you know, from her bedroom, getting spread-eagled. Sad state of affairs that we're in. I'm not saying the guys who purchase this stuff are any better, but men have been paying for this stuff forever, whether it be dates, going to hookers or what. Who's selling it?
Do I support Islamic morality laws? No, but am I happy that someone's finally standing up to Bonnie Blue? Yeah.
So you'd like to see her in the slammer?
I think it'd be pretty funny, and I think it would deter copycats. Because that's the other problem. All of these young girls are now seeing how much attention she gets, and we're giving her attention right now, which is frustrating, but she makes headlines because she is so extreme. So people have to know this is not okay.
But she could do it.
So hang on, lock her up. She wants to. I don't want her to go to jail. I think she's obviously effed around and found out in a Muslim country. But what are you saying? You think it's going to be funny? She gets locked up for doing sex work. You know, you probably got hundreds of thousands of sex workers in Australia. You're suggesting they all get locked up. Go on. You know, Bonnie Blue might be an extreme one. Go on a TikTok. I've made videos about this sort of thing on my other men's channels. Go on a TikTok and write in full service workers, and you'll see videos of women just as brash as Bonnie Blue, just not as famous, counting all their money they've gotten from a day hookering, selling clunge. Like they're going to be counting stacks. What you make in a couple of months, 3 months, 4 months, they're making a day, cash. Mr. Government Man doesn't know about it. They got money counters. Should they all go to jail? I don't know.
Somewhere else where she's not going to get arrested, right? Which is what she should have done in the first place. I'd make 2 points. One is Bali should probably understand who its clientele are. So if you're going around making laws saying that you can't shag people you're not married to, I mean, what do you think people go to Bali for?
But that's not the law. The law is you can't produce pornographic material. There's a big difference.
Yeah, no, but there are other rules around sex as well. But
Yeah, just good on you, Callum.
If you go to a foreign country, you play by a foreign country's rules. You know, Chappelle Corby, the Bali Nine. I mean, the Bali Nine...
Bit different there. They were drug smugglers. They weren't just having sex. They're literally smuggling large amounts. I think the Bali Nine, I think it was heroin. And Chappelle Corby, you know, the whole bodyboard bag, you know, full of dope. Drug smuggling.
And I always found so strange because Australians were so upset about it, and these men could face the firing squad and the death penalty. Of course, some of them have indeed. And it was all, woe is us, how could this possibly happen? But, like, if you try to run drugs into a country where that's what they do to people who run drugs, you know the risk you're taking, don't you? Just as if you go to a country where it is illegal to make pornography, surely you know you are running the risk of ending up in jail.
She not only knew the risk, because don't forget she'd been deported from Fiji as well. Now, Fiji's not an Islamic nation, but...
She knows the risk. Look, maybe she'll get some comeuppance. Maybe she'll stop this attention-seeking behaviour. Who knows? But that's what it's all about. It's about being extreme, thinking that the rules don't apply to her, and trying to get global attention. And it's worked. I'm talking about it. Sky News Australia is talking about it. He has way more viewership than me. Am I a fan of it? No. I don't know what guy would want to watch a video of a woman getting ploughed out by 1,057 guys in a day. What, you're sitting there just knocking one out, watching it, having a beer or something, because it's a long video. Why would you want to watch that? I couldn't think of the last thing I'd want to pay for. Let alone, who's paying for porn? The internet's free, boys. Just you guys out there who are paying for this stuff. Couple of websites out there host a lot of free content. More than you'll ever get through in your whole life is uploaded every day for nothing. Why are you paying for it? Can someone tell me that?
They also deported her on public morality grounds. So she knew very well going to Indonesia this was going to be a problem. And yet she posted on social media, as we saw, advertising what she was doing. So this is just flagrantly throwing it in the face of authorities and dare them to take the kind of action they have taken. I think she should be jailed for this. You can't literally go into countries boasting about how I am arriving here, I will break your laws, and then complain when they hold you to account.
I suspect she probably won't be. I mean, they'll let her go and tear up her visa and say you can't come back for 10 years or something like that. But you know what? She got the publicity out of it. We've talked about it.
What do you guys reckon? Should they lock her up and throw away the key like people want to see? Or will they let her go? I'm on the fence here. I think she probably could be locked up. I think it's going to be 15 years. I mean, I hope not. I think that's an egregious sentence. You get more for murder in a lot of cases. They get less for murder, manslaughter. Not just banging dudes on camera. I don't think she was caught doing anything. I think she was caught playing some sort of truth or dare type game or something that might have ended in action. I don't think they busted her actually doing it. I could be wrong though. I didn't do a lot of research into this, to be frank with you all. To be frank.
What more could she ask for?
The one punishment the Balinese government should enforce on everyone involved in this is they need to publish the names and photos of all the men that they
there you
caught.
go. Sorry guys, had a minor sound issue there.
Producing the material with Bonnie Blue. I think that would be punishment enough.
That's unfair.
And you would very quickly deter anyone else from participating in Bonnie Blue's antics.
But that's getting a bit Puritan, isn't it? That you should have your name published because you had sex with a woman?
No, but aren't they cooperating in the production of pornography as well?
Yeah, and they're being investigated for violating the law.
Yeah, we should note those men were arrested but then let go. They might be brought in for questioning later, but at the moment it's only Bonnie Blue who's believed to be facing criminal charge.
I suspect when they get their hands back on their passports, they'll be out of Bali quick, smart, and maybe next time take a holiday in Australia instead. Go to Queensland or somewhere, which is quite nice.
Go to you, Callum. Look, let's talk about this real quick before I leave. I don't know what kind of bloke goes, I want to go and have action with a woman who is just been pounded by 45 guys in front of me, one after the other. And that is an understatement. You might say, gee, you're being very crude today about this language. This is just what it is. I'm just telling straight facts. All right, leaving it there. Thanks for watching.